The King appears to have arrived. I think we can just hopefully see the royal party with this camera, which we are trying to get a clear as shot as possible from. Yes, I think that's the Queen Consort and King Charles III there, who have just left the car to start for this process, the ceremony of the keys, Gloria, which we've got some details about how important this is, because effectively he's going to be given control of Edinburgh, I guess. Literally the keys to the city.
Yes, the monarch will be offered the keys, and tradition dictates that the King then returns them. And when returning the keys, His Majesty will say, "I return these keys being perfectly convinced that they cannot be placed in better hands than those of the Lord Provost and councillors of my good city of Edinburgh."
But that process has to be gone through formally. Just to remind you, I mean, this is effectively the Royal Palace in Edinburgh, the official residence of the King, as is now, and that is why this process takes place here before the cortege then leaves down the Royal Mile to St Giles's Cathedral. We should just add that Nicholas Owen has just joined us, ITN's former royal correspondent, literally hot foot from Buckingham Palace, where you've been witnessing scenes as well this morning, Nicholas. No let-up in the crowds either in London or in Edinburgh, as we're seeing.
No, absolutely not. I was there a bit early this morning and it was quite quiet, but very quickly London filling up. I kept thinking, shouldn't these people be at work? No, I suppose not. That's fine, you know.
Even if they just take a moment from a lunch break or something, to share in the event.
Well, moments from lunch break are going to get tricky because the crowds are so great.
Really?
It's very difficult to get round. And, of course, roads are having to be cordoned off. An awful lot of restrictions are coming in, inevitably.
How do you police and make safe an event like this, the sort of crowd gatherings that we're going to witness over the coming days?
How do we police it? Well, a jolly difficult job. I think Mark Rowley, the new Commissioner of the Metropolitan Police, has already said it's a terrific challenge facing his officers. I cast my mind back, being a little on the older side, to previous funerals, of course, and we thought the crowds that turned out for Diana, Princess of Wales particularly, the Queen Mother and so on, but I think they're going to be nothing compared with what we are going to see in the next few days, especially if the weather holds, They're talking about in London 700,000. That sounded to me like a police estimate, which is always an underestimate.
Yeah.
And then we talk about 1 million, possibly 2 million people. And lots of people I know said, "Oh, I'm going to London." And I keep saying to them, you do realise how crowded it's going to be.
Having to snake across Lambeth Bridge to the South Bank, over to Tower Bridge, we think, and then back and over Lambeth Bridge back into Westminster. It's going to be a long, long way to wait.